The older I get, the more I'm starting to understand what Joker meant when he said it just takes one bad day. I'm starting to think that maybe this is all part of my origin story. Maybe solipsism is true. The universe doesn't exist. It's just me, and my brain is lashing out at me, creating things to attack me with in order to see when I finally just crack and do something interesting. Because Batman Arkham VR, if you don't remember it, was a little PlayStation game that existed that nobody really talks about. It's not like it's overwhelmingly bad or anything, it's just there. And so when that game came out, it was kind of more of a proof of concept for VR. People were thinking, all right, that's neat, moving on. But of course, there is another Batman Arkham game coming out now, and it is VR exclusive for the Meta Quest 3 VR platform. Oh boy. Oh boy. Signal to fanfare. Now look, if you love VR, that's great. I'm happy for you. I wouldn't say I'm anti-VR in the sense of I don't think it should exist, but for me, it's just not something that really works where the tech is at right now. There's several reasons I'm not a fan of this decision. One, to bring the character back at this time. Two, in this way. And three, exclusively for this platform. But I'll get into that in just a minute. So if you do enjoy today's video, leave a like, subscribe. That kind of stuff does help me out a lot. A lot of people aren't seeing my videos, so I do appreciate when you do that. My question of the day, which is, it sounds unenthusiastic, I'm more just mad, is, do you have a favorite superhero game? I don't care if it's Arkham or not, I genuinely want to know, and why. I've been trying to get into some more older superhero games actually as well, and you know, it's something I want to talk about in the future on this channel, so maybe you have a suggestion, something you want me to talk about. I would appreciate you letting me know and why you like it. Now here's the thing with Arkham Shadow. That is what this game is. Batman Arkham Shadow. It is VR exclusive, virtual reality exclusive. Now there's already a problem with that for me personally, and that's the fact that this is going to cut out a lot of potential players. VR, especially the Meta Quest 3 VR platform, is not going to be nearly as common as just someone who owns a gaming PC, or just someone who owns a PS5, or a PS4, or an Xbox One platform, or an Xbox Series platform, or even the Nintendo Switch. So you've already got a very, very limited player base based off of that exclusivity alone. It's not like nobody has it. Plenty of people have it, but a lot of people don't have it, and a lot of people have no interest in VR right now. For me personally, I could have room for VR, and I could budget for VR if I really wanted to. But I'm not a fan of where the tech is at right now. I also don't really want to have to rearrange my house to have a 6.5, I believe, by 6.5 feet space where I'm not going to run into stuff in order to play your games. And I personally think that most VR games right now are still just proof of concept. They're mostly experiences. There are some that are very fun, but for me, dropping $500 on that platform is not really worth it. And that's the cheap end of it, by the way. If you're buying it from another country and importing the MetaQuest VR, that's going to be a lot more money than just $500 US. Taxes, tariffs, you know, that kind of stuff. And also regional pricing are things that apply, unfortunately, to a lot of people outside of the US, and people in the US forget about. India even, I have a friend who lives in India, and he just told me that like trying to import even CDs or trying to import certain video games, extremely expensive. So when it comes down to it, you've really limited your niche of who is going to be playing this game already. Secondly, who asked for this? I know that people bought the PlayStation Arkham VR game. That's great. Good for them. It was a fun little experience, just a little romp. That's it. Proof of concept, fun. The end. There was nothing really too substantial about it. I don't think anyone was really sitting down like, I hope the next Arkham game is VR again. Even if you love VR, you're the biggest VR person ever, you have the MetaQuest 3, you have PlayStation VR, you have all this crap. Were you really asking for, I hope the next Batman Arkham game, if it even exists after Kevin Conroy unfortunately passed away, is VR? Was anyone really sitting around asking for that? Because to me personally, with the zero details we have so far on this, other than this trailer seems to tease Ratcatcher and shows that it's VR exclusive, this to me personally comes off as the most tone-deaf, out-of-touch possible game you could release after Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Because nobody asked for that to be in the Arkham universe either. It's like, hey, I really like the concepts of Arkham Knight. It'd be cool to go back with, you know, maybe Roger Craig Smith, see some of the stuff going on after Origins, or hey, maybe we could see Bat Family spin-offs. Oh, you like the Bat Family? We'll make you Gotham Knights. It's not even in that universe, and it's just kind of mid overall. Oh, thanks. Well, you know, you tease Superman and stuff. It'd be cool to see Superman in your universe. Oh, you want Superman? How about you blow his brains out with a gun? How about you kill him? In Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League. Wouldn't that be fun? But Jay, they're probably clones. Yeah, and the game's probably dead. There's like 200 people on Steam playing it at a time. Nobody has asked for these games that they're making. Nobody is sitting down like, oh boy, please make this next. And I know that you're not beholden to just what the fans ask for. I'm not an idiot. Money talks. But the thing is, WB just keeps tossing ideas at the wall and hoping they stick. And it's so weird to me how many ideas we know that they've canceled. Multiple Superman proposed games at WB were shot down. Before someone says, well, Jay, Rocksteady didn't want to do that, Rocksteady's not my point. My point is you can go out there and find concepts for multiple Superman games that have been canceled. I've even covered them on this channel. A couple console generations ago, there was a canceled Flash game that never made it fully off the ground, even though it was in development and would have been pretty cool from the looks of it. There was a Batman Arkham Knight sequel starring Damian Wayne. I don't know why it wasn't Terry. That's a whole nother side tangent that I would get off on because I don't think get off on. Uh-oh. Maybe I would. Who knows? You'll have to find out. But I know that that's a tangent, which would have followed the events later on after Knight, as Batman is kind of training a protege, a predecessor Batman, to take on the role and the mantle moving forward. That didn't happen. There's been all these different things. Even WB Games Montreal had allegedly pitched a Suicide Squad project way before Kill the Justice League that was not a live service game that would have kind of played off of the ending teaser of Arkham Origins. That didn't happen either. But we get this. We get Batman Arkham Shadow on MetaQuest 3 VR. To me personally, the more I look at WB, the more it feels like a company that just has no idea how to utilize its characters, despite having some of the most iconic characters in fiction. And it's sad and frustrating. I also want to throw this little tangent out there when it comes to the MetaQuest 3. Regardless of how good, bad, mid, whatever you think the platform is and how much you love or hate VR, this is still tied to Meta. If you don't know much about Meta, this is the company essentially around Facebook, around Mark Zuckerberg, and I personally do not trust this company at all. Now, I don't trust any company, but when it comes to Meta, when it comes to Facebook, there have been a lot, and I mean boatloads of allegations when it comes to wrongdoing, when it comes to data privacy concerns, when it comes to quite a bit. And while I personally would not make these allegations against a multi-billion dollar company that could flatten me with a flick of their wrist, I will say that this is not a company that I personally trust with much of anything, let alone my money. The only reason I even have a Facebook at all is because it's tied to Instagram, which I use to promote my channel. That's it. I don't actually like these social media platforms that are tied to Meta. I don't like most social media platforms, and if I could, I would get rid of all of them. But unfortunately, it's a necessary evil for what I do to be able to reach people to say, hey, I made a new thing. Unfortunately, YouTube's not showing anybody, so I have platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to try and reach out and be like, hey guys, I still exist. Hello out there. Hello into the void. It's the only reason I have those platforms, other than Instagram being good for looking at little baddies with my wife. That's about it. There's really no other reason for me. So I don't trust the company tied to this platform. I don't enjoy this type of game right now. I don't have room for this type of game right now. I don't want to budget out money for this type of platform right now. I'd rather put my money towards other games, towards upgrading my PC so that I can do better videos, things like that. This to me is not worth it. I'm wondering who asked for this. I'm wondering how many people are actually excited for this, because when I go on the Twitter threads and when I go on all of the responses on Reddit and things like that, it's maybe 1 to 10 of people being excited versus thinking this is stupid or uninteresting or unnecessary. But my point is, I'm not seeing too many people excited for this. If you are, you can let me know. Maybe you think I'm wrong about VR. Let me know. I don't think really this was the way to take Arkham. It's not a point to me of like who's playing the character. It's not a point to me of when it's set in the timeline. None of that is my point. My point is who asked for an Arkham VR game as the follow-up to this beloved series that seems to just be tossing ideas at the wall. Live service, VR, what do we do next? I don't know. How about we make an adult game where you play as Batman and you go in Harley Quinn? You know what? Actually, maybe I'd be into that if the VR game was that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content. If you want to play a live service game I actually do have a Fortnite code DJAY123 where you can go put that in the support a creator option. If you buy V-Bucks or anything like that, help support the channel. I do have other channels I've been working on lately. JayRPG is my new channel where I cover mostly RPG games. Recently talked about Stellar Blade. I also do have our Let's Play channel, Degenerate Plays. We're wrapping up Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, playing through some other games over there, including Stellar Blade actually as well. My wife's channel, Magical Jill, we've been doing some anime reviews, stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff there to support the channel if you're interested. Also, we do have our own store, cosmobunny.shop, where you can get transformative resin pieces, coasters, keychains, more. These are from comic books, manga, basically anything, even magazines that were destroyed that weren't able to be sold. What we do is we get them from stores before they end up in landfills. We take some of the stuff, we transform it into new art for your home. Then we recycle the rest of the materials we don't use. We send it out in recycled packaging materials. We do have handmade jewelry on that site as well. Appreciate you very much. Have a fantastic day. And as always, everyone, stay schwer.